Kia ora koutou katoa, e Senia Samaro Shanana is a greeting from my galactic guides and from my universal beings. There's a collective that are here. So that was one of them that's coming through as a collective to say hello and welcome as well in their lingo, okay? So you will probably be feeling a lot of higher vibrational energy around you, maybe that may be making you feeling a little bit lighter. Not everyone is going to be feeling that way, depending on where you are vibrationally, on saying that in the way that you are working with stuff that's going on for yourselves and that sort of thing. You'll know, because it's like things that used to irk you will not irk you as much as what it used to have done, and that's how you're going to be able to know. And you won't be getting upset about all this sort of thing, all sorts of things around it, and you will be seeing things a lot differently. Your perspectives will have changed. You'll be more open and less judgmental and things like that. And it's like when somebody pushes your button accidentally, unbeknowingly, or whatever. It's like it's not like you. It's not. You maybe not challenging you as much. So some of you may be feeling like that, or noticing changes within you lately, just out of the blue in a way. It's like, wow, that's interesting. I don't feel like that anymore, or don't feel like that way anymore, or that way of thinking may have changed a bit. So there's something about, allowing yourself to just go with the flow. And sometimes it may, and I feel like things that people say out there in the community, it's like there's, it's like, and maybe you may have thought or felt that way before, your perspective and, the way that things, are going, are happening, to people, and you may not have, or against people, and it's like, and you may have been one of those people that thought a specific way or a certain way about something, or some things, whether it be a behavioural pattern or it may be something that's going on in this world at the moment. And I feel like there's something that's turning around, is where Spirit are going with that, or where the energy of Capricorn is going, that with the connecting for those of you who understand what this message is about. Okay, so yes, so this is going back to rewinding back, or just stepping back a bit. Just go back to the beginning there. So yeah, this is for you, Capricorn, whether your sign falls in, it's under your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus sign in your astrological chart. I do encourage having a gaze at, have a look at both or all of the signs that you that are linked to you, if you know what they are, just so it gives you a bit of a fuller overview about what could be happening, or what happening around you, before, in the present, and or in the future. It depends on what is happening with you. Everybody's at a different space. Okay, so there's the energy is like really wanting to move along. I feel like, because we're actually, what's today, Monday the 15th of November, so that I'm recording this. So there's something like really turning around for a lot of people at the moment. They're talking about no matter what sign you are, and that, but for some reason they're bringing, I've been guided to do these like today, to get them out of the way and to move them on, or just today because the energy is in the right space for whoever is needing to hear this. So these readings can be a little bit, can be seen as timeless, because not everybody's going to watch them like, straight after I've popped them up, and they're going to be watching it like end of November, and you may even watch this in December, and it might make more sense to you then. You might watch it in February next year, and this message may make more sense to you then. So it's like, and I just want to also follow on from that, is just remember that these reads, the messages that come through, are general, so they may or may not resonate with you. So just take what does resonate and leave what doesn't. Okay. So yeah, this is for November 2021, and like I say, it's like halfway through the month, so I probably should have said mid-November, but like I explained before, this is, like right now, it seems to be the most pertinent time for me to be bringing these messages to you, okay, and to those of you who it makes sense to anyway. So we're at the beginning of this, mid-month of this week anyway, and we're at the end of the week. It's like, there's a full moon. So it talks about, I feel like I'm just going to go double check that, because I've got a few things on my mind. Here we go. there's a theme around, each moon and cycle depending on what is going on in the world and the universe and energetically wise and which planets are lining up. So we are actually in, in an eclipse energy at the moment. So this full moon lunar eclipse is about, transforming basically and appreciating life's gifts that we do have in our life at the moment, and that letting you know that life is transforming. So we've just got to go with the flow of it. So it talks about the lunar eclipse here being at 22:03. So that talks, that's obviously about 3 minutes past 11 when it's at in its full height or its beginning, that cycle there. So and with this full moon. So anyway, just you'll probably be feeling it now, and it's interesting that there are all these things that are happening in the country in New Zealand at the moment, but not only just here but all around the world. There are some significant timelines here. So where things are changing, and there's a transformation. I feel like, they're talking about that's a good transformation, and maybe you've been, it's even though there's something about the shit hitting the fan, or some things come to a standstill, and you've and not necessarily a standstill, but there's definitely a shift, and it's like there's something moving on to greater and bigger things. And this is the energy where, where the universe is actually in, and the God energy or the Christ energy who's moving in, coming closer to me now, would say, look at it like that. This is an opportunity for you to be able to be doing something that you've always wanted to do. And it's regardless about what everybody else or anybody else thinks. For you, those of you who understand this message. So it's a time for healing. So I'm using the Moonology cards here because this whole month with readings is, I've brought them out because there's a lot of energy around the moon cycles, and everybody's kind of got different things going on. So, and even all these there's a lot of people that've got similar understandings and teachings of the moon cycles. So just take what, like I say, just take what resonates and what doesn't. So what's coming for this reading and this card here is a time for healing. So with the what's that balsamic moon? I keep hearing sorry, I've got an incense here and some of the smoke's just come this way. It's like clearing my throat. Not clearing. I've got it in my mouth, throat. Oh, so anyway, there may be something about on saying that it's quite timely about you speaking up. For some of these, it's speaking out, voicing not so much your opinion, but it's just expressing yourself or feeling able to express yourself, and not so much like voicing your opinion, yes, but not making it seem like it has to be heard or it has to be your way. So it's like voicing your opinion so you can be, feel like you have voiced it. But that's on saying that it's not saying that that is the right way or the wrong way or anything like. It's just about you voicing or expressing yourself. Okay, so and it's like you may feel like you're not being heard, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like you've got yourself out, and not everybody is going to hear what you're saying because it's not everybody's journey. What your journey is. So it's like, but on saying that, they're just talking about like expressing yourself. So people are going to take it one way or the other. Okay, at the end of the day, it's about just like putting it out there, but it's also about a time for healing as well. So whatever it is, I feel like some of you are going to say something and you might end up feeling like you've got to retract that. So, and it maybe that is the healing there, and making you or getting you to see something about, a way that you used to be, or somebody might say something to you and you may like, whoa, where did that come from? But it's happened to you because it's like, you're needing to take a look at something about yourself, basically. So it's about, yes, kind of not so much, not taking it personally, but it's also, but on saying that there is a personal message in there for you as well. And I feel like they're talking about, acknowledging something or addressing something with yourself. So it may be something that you're needing to or look at with yourself, basically. Reflection, not deflection, is where they're going with it. So reflect on that. But that is an amazing, it's an amazing healing period. So, and it's something is shifting with this energy, with this moon, and the energy is expanding. So you may feel a lot more of that coming out, which is, I say, is fucking amazing, because it's like, if you look at it, then like it just, because you're unraveling stuff you're clearing stuff out of the way so you can have more clarity about what it is that you really need to know, your truth and who you are, or whatever it is, your direction and guidance that you're going to do. It gives you, helping you to unwind these things, but it's also a very healing, and it's a very healing experience. So a time to give rather than take, this new moon in Virgo. So this is interesting. So it's interesting, the balsamic vinegar, the moon, because I keep thinking about balsamic vinegar for some, because of that. But so there's a sense of acidity or acidity in there, because I'm thinking the vinaigrette or the vinegar in there with the balsamic in there, and it's like there's something, it just reminds me of the vinegar, and how it can be quite tart, but it can also have this sweetish taste in there as well. So there's something about balancing out the shadow and the light side, or the sour and the sweet, like sweet and sour. It can balance out when you're having a dish like that. So it's interesting. So it's getting us to look at the sweet side of ourselves and looking at the sour side of ourselves, or the acidic and the non-acidic, whatever it is. So it's really an amazing healing time. And this week I feel as some people's energy, and is it really going to be for some of you, pull a lot of stuff out and maybe push you to the brink with some things, is you're not liking what you're wanting to hear, or not liking what you hear, or things like that. So anyway, it's a time to give rather than take with this, is the next card. So there's something about, an exchange of energy. So, and this is where they're kind of talking about that, is there's been an exchange of energy, and we can see it as a negative or a positive. And what it might bring up could be a positive thing with some people, and to look at yourselves in a different view of light. So others of you may be experiencing the total opposite, right now, or coming up into now. So, and some of you may be experiencing both from different points of view, and it's and helping you to bring it into that infinity sign, to that energy, that infinite energy, is where it just goes around and it comes into a loop. Then we go around again, we come back into this other loop. So there's a processing going on there, but it depends on the flow. Okay. It's getting the flow right, is where I'm hearing that. So also I'm hearing about grounding yourself here. Now we have this here, supermoon here with the third card. Emotions are running high. So yes, the emotions are running high, or maybe running high at the moment for me, and I can feel it. There's a sense of, I want to run this way, but I don't know where to run to, or I want to just stay here and just be in this emotion and this feeling. And because I feel like for some people there, it's like something has come to an end in this phase of your life. And it's but it's not the end of everything. It's it's opening. There's a sense of there's a climactic sense of energy build-up, of expansion, where it's actually opening up, your mind, your energy, your soul, your your emotions, and what you're thinking, being to your mentality, all that sort of thing, is and getting you to have a deeper look within, and shine so you can shine your light. Some of us, we're shining our light anyway, all the time, whatever we're doing anyway. And most, but others are, we're depending on what's going on. It's shining your light. And sometimes when things are going on with us, our light isn't as brighter as what it could be. All the time, but it's and you'll feel that, because your energy levels, and the way that you're thinking, the way that you you're doing things, your energy levels will start to lag, basically, and then when we're processing, then it's okay, then once we get through that, it's okay, we're off again. So emotions are running high. They could be running high for you, right now in the beginning of the month, or now a little bit later in the month, depending on what is going on for you. Now, new moon in Gemini here, so there is a new moon here. Interesting, lots of new moons, even though we come into a full moon. But on saying that, a full moon still brings a new beginning, because we're decluttering as this energy it builds up to Friday, the full moon here. in November. Communication here is key with the Gemini sign here, new moon in Gemini. So there's a lot of probably, talking, negotiating there that's going on, or just chatting, about things. Even could be like self-talk going on, but make sure, it's like not all negative self-talk. It's like, it's like, yes, hitting yourself up for about things, but not like beating yourself to a bloody pulp or anything like that. But just so it's like there's a sense of reasoning in there in a way, but also like with others. So I feel like for some of you may be rehearsing a conversation that you're going to have with somebody else, not necessarily a confrontation. It could be like felt like that, but it's like, or seemed like that, or it seems like it could be, but I'm just hearing like shifting that energy. I just feel like there may be an explanation, and it may be enough, and it's like getting these keywords or key notes down about what you can thinking that you might discuss. Okay, that's where they're going with it. Gosh, a lot is coming out of those 4 cards. So the energy is really like hyped up, as you can probably tell with the way that I'm talking. It's coming out like really quite quickly, but the energy around me is just building up. It's a little bit scattered and all over the fracking place when I started to getting things ready, and I sat down. So this is like take 3, and everything just came blah, 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 and it's like twice. So it's like, okay. So there was something, it's like, so just sit and be calm, and I feel like some of you may be feeling a lot of energy that's not necessarily all yours, but however, I feel like there may be, for some of you, a backlash might be coming because of something that you've done, seen, or been a part of has kind of like, it's hit home for you for some of yous, in the way that you've responded. So it may be that for some of yous, you may be retracting or wanting to retract something that you've, like I say, seen being done, or said been or have done along the way there, or you may be feeling that you're wanting to express yourself in some way that's kind of like, and this is where it's kind of come out wrong, so you're wanting to do a replay of that, rewind of that, and start again. So communication is the key there for whatever that is. And I feel like some of you, I think there's that thinking and that feeling that you're thinking that you back in the past of, past conversations, not necessarily all, conversations that are, negative as per se, but positive ones as well. So there's an enlightening thing. There's something that's, there's that recycling around. It's a beautiful, crazy, sometimes process, but it's like something is shifting. Now we have the Fool here. It's not necessarily the Fool, but there's something about, a new beginning or a new start, or maybe you're like your knee-jerk reaction about moving into something new, which is why and it's under the Time for Healing card here. So there's possibly something going on there where you're maybe feeling like you're not ready, or you thought you were ready for this, but it's like, when something, you could be prepared as much as you can be, but when it actually happens, it's like, and a wave of emotion, or a wave of, resistance, or a wave of fear, or a wave of sadness, or a wave of, like emotion of some sort, or it happens, and it's like something is not. It comes together, but maybe not in the way that necessarily you think about it. You thought it would, but there's something there that is like. But I do feel like it's not necessarily a negative, but they're just saying that it's kind of like the reality, or something has hit you at that time. And it's like with this new beginning, it's almost in a way like a tower moment. But they're just saying this, like, but I'm going to turn it around, because they're getting me to turn it around, and I want to turn it around, because it's like, it's a process that is going to be, something is turning around, and that it's just, a moment in time when, I've got here now, and it's like, okay, now, even though I feel like I've prepared for it, I've prepared as much as what I could, but now it's here, and it's like, whoa, and it's like that last minute sort of realization, basically, that's there. So, and it may be that you've never thought that's what happened, but it has happened, or it is happening, or it could happen, or something like that, and it's something has arrived in a way, but for you to take that leap of faith. So it's kind of like, there's something that's bottlenecked, and it's squeezed right in, and now it's like, and you've been popped out, squeezed out, and it's like, okay, and now I've got to go. And I feel like it's not necessarily a bad thing. So it depends on the way that you're looking at it. Okay, so it's like, and some of you, I feel like some people have planned for this next phase, and it got something tentatively in mind or on paper, some begun a strategy or ideas, and now it's like time to let it roll, because he's the Queen of Wands. Okay, she's talking about getting pulling out all your gifts, your abilities, and going for it. So, and making your magic happen. You have that opportunity now to put yourself out there. Now, this is under a time to give rather than take as well. So there's two sides to every story, is what I'm hearing here. So this is about creating the magic of both sides of your story, and pulling something together to make something happen. Not when I say make, or when they say make, it's not forcing it. Some of you may be forcing it a little bit, and forcing yourself to make something happen, and that's okay. But it's like making sure that you are not using too much energy just to force it. It's like just making or creating something to happen, and making it happen, taking action is what they mean by that as well. To make something happen or create something, but not so much to force it. It's like forcing a triangle into a circle, and that's around the same shape. It's not going to fit, is it? So that's what they mean by that. But it's about taking action towards something that you have wanted to do, because there's a sense of passion there. So I feel like there's 2 or 3 streams for some of you that, when they talk about that, not necessarily have to be a male or female energy with this Queen of Wands here, but there's something about, magic and creating your own magic and bringing things together. So these two here have come out, the High Priestess. So you may be like emotions are running high. So that's interesting that she's come out here, the High Priestess in reverse. So, don't get too caught up in your emotions. Ground yourself. Remind yourself to come back to earth, and allow yourself to so you can listen to your intuition. When we're too highly emotionally involved with things or something, whether they're ours or not ours, is like separating that and figuring that out. It's like we cannot listen. It's like we cannot hear our intuition properly. For the greater good of ourselves, and we can make decisions. We could, that are based on an emotional energy or feeling, depending what that emotion is, about, and we can do things, without thinking about things properly. We could do things without being grounded, and not take notice of things that are going on around that, and miss things that we, like not dotting your I's and crossing your T's and things like that. Or we can miss something, which means we're going to have to come back and redo something again. So they're just talking about, not rushing things, and not as well, but grounding yourself. And like, this is what all this healing is about. And this, I'm hearing like, forgiveness, with a time to give rather than take, as well as for the healing. But it's not just about forgiveness. They're talking about, balance as well, and working your magic with this Queen of Wands, and like for the future. She's got her staff there. The light is lit. Is at the end there to guide the way. So she's ready to move. By the look of it, how she's holding her staff, she's ready to take that next step, because she's lit it. And it's like looking now, where to now is to complete my mission, or begin planning for the next mission that she's going on. But intuitively wise, listening to your intuition, but remembering, I'm hearing like meditate, to stop, be still. Okay. And then we have the King of Cups. So he's in reverse as well. So I want to turn him around, but he is very content, and in his emotions and what he's doing. So I feel like this communication is key with here underneath that card with the King of Cups again, is like, even though you may be really emotionally charged at the moment, it's like turning that around, using it to your advantage, but coming from a space of calm, collected, so you can listen to your intuition or hear it properly, and and be better, more knowing that actually, yes, that is my intuition. and it's bringing yourself back into alignment, you know. So yes, he's feeling more content and a lot more grounded, even though he's floating above that water. His throne is above the water, but there is a sense of calm within him. There's a lot more to do with the king, but that's the only thing that's coming out of my mouth at the moment with them. So I'm going to take all these. So we have the Two of Wands. So I feel like there's something shifting, like you're looking for something new. You're searching for something new that you're going to be doing or doing. The Six of Pentacles here, there's something, you're moving towards something here. Like there may have been an idea, something to do with finances and around money or energy, family. Could be the whole kit and caboodle. It could be your health and well-being as well. So with this Queen of Wands, it's like, it's moving, keeping on moving. It's like I feel like even though there may be some of that around, like even right now as you're listening to this, but I feel like if you're looking back, for some of you, it's like, okay, you've seen it like that, but actually no, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be that way. So changing the mindset and and the thoughts and the thinking about that can help shift that your mood, so you can move fluidly. And emotionally, but with emotionally charged, but in a healthy way, where that's going to be the thing that drives you, but not it drives you moving forward, but it's like not just running in a knee-jerk, not just or only running in a knee-jerk reaction from it. Be based on when they're talking about like healthy emotions, as in excitement rather than anxiety is where they're going with that. But even when we're running in excitement, we can still miss things because we forget to look around us properly to see what is there, or looking in all directions or in front, just maybe like tunnel vision, looking in one way, but not looking down actually what is in front of you as well as you take that next step, or what is beside you, who is coming with you. So there's something about peripheral vision as well. The Three of Wands here, so there's something about, yes, it's time to move. You've been in search for something, I feel, or something or someone. If this is you, it could be a someone. That is, now that you've released something or moving through a relationship, or some of you, I'm hearing the word grief along with that. But there's, Three of Wands is maybe you've been sitting around for a little bit and with your finger up your backside, or just like sitting around and, thinking about doing it, but not actually taking action. And now something's happening or happened, and it's like, okay, I need to take some action now, seriously. But going, but what once again, I'm seeing this, emotions are running high, but not so much letting your emotions dictate as to why you're going, where you're going, when you're going, how you're going. It's like there's something about coming to peace with that and listening to your intuition, but there's definitely about getting something moving, because it's like you've been in searching out there for, but it's just like I'm just hearing taking the next step and seeing what happens, and and then going from there to there to there. It may be that you just take, I'm hearing the next job that comes up, there's an opportunity there, and from that there's another opportunity that might come up. You may only be in that job for 2 or 3 months and realise that actually, no, I want to run my own business. But actually it may not be that you're running your own business right now. It may be that there's another job that is offered to you where the same sort of thing can happen, and it's like, okay, so you're learning about yourself in a different way, but actually learning when we trust ourselves, or when you trust yourself, shit does happen. Okay, good shit as well, not just neg shit. Okay, oh, shivers. So when we're going here as the Six of Swords, there's something about moving away from strife. I feel like that's not just on a physical level, it's on an emotional level, and the King is sitting here because it's like you're communicating differently, which means differently. So it means I'm feeling like you, and it's helping you to move away from something, or be guided away from something that serves you no purpose for your highest good, or just guiding you so you can move on from that. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles, so there's something, exchange of energy there, which is interesting, where it's like a time to give rather than receive. So I'm going to pop that there because these are the last 2 cards in my hand. And then we have the Nine of Cups. There's something is coming together on an emotional level, but not just that, but and it's it's interesting that card comes there, but it's like there's a sense of contentment in a way that, yes, I can see how that played out, how this played out, why I was like that, and and really doing some really nice inner work, not necessarily on a deep level, but I just feel it's just there's something about relaxing. It's like, get that now, and I'm at peace with that, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you, and I'm okay with myself and this action that I took or not, or whatever it is. But it's like you're seeing the bigger picture, but also a deeper picture, and looking at the core of things rather at what is only at the surface. And it's like there's a deeper understanding of where the trauma or where the crux of things have started, and there's a sense of acceptance with a few things. With some of you, others of you will be just like one or two things, but I feel like they're talking about there's a bigger picture that is like, and you can like you're seeing it now, okay, or you're seeing it soon, or you're seeing it, you start to see it, which is really beautiful. So I'm just going to go draw some cards out of the Collective Angels deck here. I just feel like I've yak, but there's a lot of energy that's moving. So they're wanting to get out as much as they can and try and get me to explain. It's so secret. There's a secret there. Some of you is maybe holding a secret or carrying a secret, or hiding a secret, or creating a secret. It may be like there's something, and it's not necessarily a negative thing. It's all in how you see that, and sometimes it's nobody else's business but your business, and it's like, and that's okay. And on the flip side of that is, remember that if you think that way, it's none of your business, about what anybody else does as well. And it's none of your business what anybody else thinks of you, or what you do, be, give, or have in your life, or however that is for you. But that is in reverse too, so just remember that. And so there's on saying that. But yeah, I feel like that's just saying, like Spirit is saying, the angels are saying, clean. I think the cleaning is about cleaning up your own backyard, cleaning up your energy, cleaning up your mind, which is what this full moon energy can do. It can spend the energy, so we declutter things. So it's a good a time to do that. So you can clear out the negative energy, feelings, thoughts, beings, but not just on a physical level, not just negative stuff, but like visit things about you, which is positive as well, which is a kind of form of cleaning, because we get that out of the way. But on a physical level, it could be that you're doing your house inside or outside, or I don't know, cleaning your room out. It could be anything really. And then we have brother. Some of you will get that. There's something to do with brother on an emotional level, connecting with this brother energy, whether he's in spirit or whether he's in the physical. You can still do that, but there's something about contacting a brother, contacting you, or you contacting a brother. Yes, you can with this communication key. It's just beautiful, and I'm gonna leave it there, because otherwise I'll just keep prattling on. But there was something in here that was talking about, yes, you can move on. Yes, you can. And the only way to move on is, what I'm hearing with that is like by communicating, being, finding that calm centered space, being in that king space, so you can finalize things. Because when we get to the king, he's come to a place where he's worked, he's done all the work. He started from the ace, and he's worked with that new perspective, that new idea, that feeling, and he's built on that, he's grown it, he's gone deeper, and then to understand it, moving into, the prince, or the princess, depending on that, and he's, the 10, under bringing things together, understanding that, moving into the next phase. Into the queen energy, and she's like in a calm centered space. And yes, she might wear her heart on her sleeve, but it gets better. We get to learn to manage that, understand that, as with the king. And it's like, okay, I've been, he's worked with that. And so it's getting to that place, but it's like sorting that out, communicating with love, peace, harmony, joy, excitement, adventure, and prosperity and abundance. When we do that, that shit opens up. That good stuff opens up, and it all depends on our perspective of that, and how we treat ourselves and others. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there with you. Ka kite anō, Sena Shona is from my collective guides, and bye for now. And I'll see you probably next week or the end of this week with some more reads, and maybe more around the full moon. Okay. Anyway, bye for now.